Three, two, one. All right, welcome to the second annual Media Day. We have the football team here today, brought to you by Prep Sports USA, and I just want to give a shout out to our Lincoln Way TV club also that is here filming and setting the standard for excellence for covering our athletics. So we appreciate that. I'm going to open up with Coach Lokank. Do you want to talk about a little bit about last year's results and then the future?
Yeah, last year's season was had its ups and downs. Losing in the second round to a Batavia team that ended up going to the state championship was disappointing, and we know what we can play with teams like that and advance farther than we did. Brings a little bit of energy to this year's season.
So, you want to talk about just the seniors in general? I mean, I know you've got, five guys up here, but you got how many back there?
Yeah, going back to, we've been here for, 13, 14 years as a staff, and we've never had 38 seniors, and usually we sit 20, 25, 30, 31's probably been the most we've ever had, and that's pretty special in my mind because it shows you how close they are, number one, how tough they are because it's hard to be a football player for 4 years in high school. And it's really special to see this group stay together. And when groups stay together, good things, do happen.
Awesome. So with that in mind, why don't you introduce us to your players up here and talk a little bit of each one?
Well, you have Brady Nelson here, 99. Defensive lineman, team captain, 2-year starter. Chase Markowitz is a receiver and defensive back, 3-year varsity football player. Johanna Bubakar, 3-year varsity football player, running back. Riley Kleros, 3-year starter, offensive lineman. And Zach Carmenson, 4-year starter, kicker.
Coach, you mentioned so many seniors. But in my experience, a lot of times, the way you get lots of seniors is having buy-in from younger players. Inevitably, there's going to be players that stop playing, but to have that many shows a loyalty to you. Can you speak about maybe what that feels like to have so many guys stick with you throughout their entire careers?
When it comes to kids staying in the program, and football's not for everybody. It's not just because it's tough; it's demanding. And you set high standards, and you hold kids accountable more than most, and it makes me feel good that these kids stayed with the program, but they come from great families that are loyal fans and loyal to this school and trust us as coaches, so it's not surprising that we have 38 still standing today.
And then you guys have a new conference this year, or how is it set up?
So we combined with the DVC 2 years ago, and it was split into 3 conferences. This year it's split into 2, so we're playing new teams that we didn't play last year, but it's based all on enrollment this year. After this next year, DVC dropped us over the winter season, and so we're kind of reevaluating what we're going to do with our conference for next year.
And so I was looking at the last year's games, and there was a 3-game losing streak where all of them were close losses. Did you guys learn anything as a team over the course of that to propel you forward throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, you always learn the most during losses. And the number one thing you learn is, are these kids going to respond to losses? The teams that do respond to losses ends up, having very good seasons at the end. And yeah, we lost a couple tough, close ones to some really good teams. But we were able to point out how we specifically lost those games and what we needed to work on to win big games like that. And every season you're going to have ups and downs, and how the kids fight through that adversity that really shows the true character of it. And we're going to have ups and downs this year, but I know, these kids, when there is a down, they're going to fight through just because what they have done the last 4 years.
Zach, I have a question for you. Heading into your fourth year on varsity as a special teams kicker, punter, you deal with a lot of the hidden yards in the game, field position. To take the next step for you, I basically want to ask you a question of what have you done to prepare for this year? Like, what did you do in the off season? Just give us a little insight on what you can do or some things that you worked on to get better this year, and maybe some personal goals that you have moving into this final year. But just give a little, like I said, insight on what you've done to prepare.
So all my off season consists of just training in the weight room, on the field, like 2-3 times a week, and then I play baseball. And in baseball, I got hurt this past season, and that led into about mid-June. I was out of kicking for 3 or 4 months. So I felt pretty behind, comparing myself to other people that I see online and my friends. So we get back into it in the end of June, and I'm kicking, but I lost probably 10 yards. So I got pretty worried, and then I'm still not lifting fully, but my field with my explosion and kicking all my distances back and probably better. So this season should be my best.
Any number pops out in your head field goal wise that you're looking to shoot for this year?
I'd say 55.
55?
55. All right.
Riley, as the mainstay, the anchor in the offensive line, a lot of people say that the game is won in the trenches, more in the trenches. As that leader in the offensive line, what are some things in the group that you like so far? What are some things that you think you guys need to continue to get better at? And when things go bad, what's the advice you're going to give your teammates at that time?
When things go bad, the first thing I tell them is just to relax. The best thing you can do in a lot of pressure is just try to slow your mind down, and you need to know that we have a lot of time, even though it feels like it's going quick. You need to relax so you're able to get your assignments right. And with this group, everybody is an extremely hard worker. Everybody loves the weight room. They're all meatheads. They're smart guys. We have a lot of chemistry. We all like each other. There's no problems outside of the field. The only thing we really need to work on is consistency. I feel like sometimes we can get a little bit tired, which we are offensive linemen, so it happens. Yeah, we just need to be a little bit more consistent, but at our peak, I think we have a very good group of 5 guys that could be starting and that are going to be amazing for guys like Jahan to run up the field in power and just beat the crap out of teams.
Jahan, third year going in here, you had some players that were ahead of you that I think that you've learned from, but if you could give us some pointers, or I guess when you were a freshman and you went through this program, now that you're the senior, if I'm a freshman watching this, what are some things that you can pass off to them or to guide them, or some things that you would do different, or things that they should be doing to be successful?
Honestly, just staying consistent in your craft and just keep working to get better every day. Any tips that I can give them, just keep at it.
Yeah.
It's a long process, but you just got to keep going.
You've shown the ability to have a lot of explosive plays. We're excited, going into this year, with this senior group. But what are your personal goals? What are some things that you think this team, or where they're at, and what you're excited about going into this year?
Personal goals, I want to get at least 1,500 yards rushing. But team goals, we want to win state. That's the biggest thing. Going to that state championship, just winning it all.
Chase, going into this year, last year was kind of like that breakout year, making a lot of explosive plays. Talk to us a little bit, being a two-way player, things that you like about it, and just kind of looking at, getting into your season here as a senior year. What are some things that you like about the defense, as a leader on that type of team too?
Well, I love being able to make plays on both sides of the ball, score touchdowns and get picks, make tackles, make explosive plays on offense. But it is tiring. You need a lot of endurance to play both ways. So
a lot of challenges when it comes to that. I mean, you've had experience with that, so hopefully, this year you're going to be able to take that next step, and we're excited definitely to watch that unfold. Brady, just looking, talk a little bit more about the defense. where you guys are, and just kind of seeing how the group is for this year.
Yeah, I think that since the beginning of summer camp, we've come a long way. I think that we'll be very good this year. I think that we have some really good guys in our defense. Whether that's our safeties, linebackers, D linemen as a whole. Just keeping working at it up and through these practices up to this upcoming week. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to playing with these guys and just having a good year.
Ray, you talk about what motivates you each day, or what when you need to dig deep, what do you think about, or what keeps you going?
One of the big things for me is just the guys around me and trying not to let everybody else. Like, it kind of sounds like almost a little sad, I guess, but like trying not to let everybody else down around me. So I kind of just, when things like get tough, whether in practice we're running those sprints that like we're all gassed, looking at the guy next to me and really seeing him put in that effort helps me really push to that next gear and finish the rep, finish through practice, get to where I need to be and I think the team needs to be.
Chase, same question. What motivates you individually, I guess?
The coaches pushing me, and then also like just being around the guys, not wanting to let anybody down. We all have the same goal here to win state, and I feel like we have to do that as a team and do it all as a team.
John, do you have any athletes you'd like to watch, whether it be college, pro, or even high school players?
A really good athlete that I like to watch was Joey Capagna. I feel like he's taught me a lot. I kind of model my game after his. Very explosive player, patient player, and can make some really good plays.
Riley, I'm going to ask you a quick question. I know you've been around Coach Ernst a lot these past 4 years. We'll loosen it up a little bit. What's one thing that really gets Coach Ernst going?
Power. Yeah, power. He loves power. Inside run, inside zone, all that stuff. He loves it. And he just like, every time there's, his big thing with our run scheme is first quarter, 4 or 5 yard plays. Second quarter, maybe it goes to 8 to 10 and we get more first downs. Then third and fourth quarter, we start breaking the 30, 40, 50 yard runs. Against, I think it was HF my sophomore year, we had I think it was the school record for the longest rushing play. It was power red and backed up. Joey Capagna took it down for like 80 yards. So plays like that is what gets Coach Ernst super fired up. He loves seeing guys up front move guys around, and then explosive players like Jahan just make big plays.
Jahan, when you see Coach Ernst get excited, okay, he jumps, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He does.
A lot.
How high does he get off that ground?
He gets pretty high. I mean, yeah, he gets pretty high.
There's been a lot of films I've seen on the huddle clips with him getting all crazy and excited. That's good. I do think it's fun, and I think it's a good group. I've seen all of you grow up, so it's been fun to watch that part. But when things get pretty tough, I'm gonna bring it to Chase. Who on the team keeps everyone laughing during the tough practices?
Jahan, probably, I would say.
Okay.
He always has most energy on the field, just screaming and yelling all the time.
I can see that, definitely. Herm, I'm gonna come to you real quick. A lot of guys say you got ice in your veins. And I've seen you play and I've seen you grow up. What was probably one of the most stressful kicks that you could remember in your?
So we'll go back to Lockport last year, like 20 seconds on the clock or something, tie game, and he missed. So I think about that basically every day still. So been working. Hopefully it's not going to happen again this year. I don't think it would.
So little motivation.
Yeah, he has ice in his veins. What was the year we played Oswego? Was that your freshman year or sophomore year? When he was a sophomore, he slipped, missed a kick, and we were down 2 points or something towards the end, and he had to win us a game 3 minutes later.
Same
Made it.
spot.
Same spot.
Same spot. That's good.
You know, Riley, John, either of you can kind of answer this question, but, you know, as players, as leaders, seniors, what do you want the offense to be known for? Like, when they say, hey, Lincoln Way West offense, what do you guys want this group to get to that level? What do you want to be known for?
An unstoppable offense. I feel like with us being able to demonstrate a super powerful run game, and then also having a great QB like Grant and receivers like Chase Markowitz, I want them to never always be on edge. Like if they load the box, we're gonna throw a pass on them. We're gonna break it for 40 yards. If they start dropping 8, we're gonna run all over them. I just want us to be known as an offense that can't really be stopped no matter what happens. If they know we're gonna run the ball, we're still gonna run the ball. We're still gonna get a first down. If they know we're gonna pass the ball, we're still gonna pass the ball, still get a first down. So I feel like that type of other teams, I want them to just basically be scared of us because they know that no matter what's gonna happen, we're gonna score and you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah. You kind of took the words right out of my mouth. It's just like an offense that's just very explosive, and no matter what we do, we're gonna get yards, no matter what.
Good mindset. And then Chase and Brady kind of talk defensively. What do you want that defense to be known for?
I think one of the biggest things that I want our defense to be known for is just to be gritty. You know, get knocked down, get right back up, pop right back up. There's going to be ups and downs in the game. I feel like a game's a roller coaster. And, you know, if they happen to have a big play, not getting in your head and not, like, getting down on yourself and just popping right back and just keep playing football. Having almost that goldfish memory. But just being gritty, hardworking, you know, like those classic buzzwords. But like you try to, like really take on those words as a whole. Just gritty, popping right back up, hardworking.
Anything down there, Gary?
I mean, just not stopping, just keep going. Always the whistle.
Definitely have been known in the past. You guys are always running the ball, always Hawks. You know, it says a lot about who you guys are defensively, offensively, down the field blocking. You know, I'm gonna go real quick back to coach, and you know, we are kind of like the road warriors this year with our schedule. So there's gonna be a lot of, you know, ups and downs of like you're gonna play a lot of games early on, and then you're gonna be gone for a little bit, and you got a pretty big trip. How are we going to prepare for that? You know, that type of schedule with being such road warriors this year.
Yeah, it's just, you know, that just comes with preparing throughout the week. You know, talking about it, what it's going to be like, what it's going to feel like. But this program as a whole has made trips all over this state. You know, for the last decade, down to St. Louis to Champaign. You know, so we're pretty set on routine, and this group last year made us a trip down to Pekin. It wasn't as far, but 2 years ago it was down to Collinsville, which is the same distance as the pier. So a lot of these kids have been in that situation of being on the bus all day playing, but it's just set to the schedule and standard, and fine.
Awesome. Are there any athletes who have really surprised you with their growth this year?
On me?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh. You know, I think as a whole, this group takes on, you know, the weight room and the off season, kind of all the same, you know, but, you know, all kids, you know, develop at different times, and you can see, you know, not just the guys at this table, but if you look at the whole room across, you know, inches and height and, you know, pounds and weight for about the whole group. You know, and I wouldn't say one individual player has impressed me with how they grew. I would say how the group has grown, impressed me even more.
All right. Well, that ends our media day, second annual media day. Great job, guys. We look forward to you. You're a great group of leaders, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
go.